She wants to say hello. Hello. No, come here. No, now she's camera shy. Oh, hi there. Oh, there's the other one. Okay, sorry. I'm like ADHD right now. Stop, go in your bed. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Brooke here, and as you can tell by the title below, this is gonna be kind of a different video of me like opening up and kind of exposing myself. I've really been thinking about how fake Instagram is and how women really struggle with, you know, having body confidence or feeling good about themselves because they're literally comparing themselves to lives that just aren't realistic, and most of the time it's a lie. I'm kind of just gonna be going through every single picture where I just bullshitted how I was doing and kind of just the real story behind all of my pictures on Instagram, especially when I was really struggling. So without further ado, let's get into the video. By the way, I cut my hair, so if you didn't notice, my hair's shorter, so yeah. So I'm gonna start with this first photo because this one was the first picture I took after my cut. I had lost like 20 pounds. This was the first picture that I ever took of my body in my progress, and I was so nervous to see what I was gonna actually look like in a bikini because the last time I was in a bikini was when I was in Florida, and to me, I was overweight then. This is the first time I thought that like I had been at my standards of wearing a bikini. I remember like actually not eating one thing that day because I knew that I was going to take a photo of myself in a bikini. Just first of all, like who the hell plans that? Because I wanted to really like track my progress and kind of like prove that I had lost like all this weight. Dumbest thing that you could ever imagine, but I did it. Like specifically this picture because I felt so fucking sick that day. For my hips and my joints and just everything in my body was so achy. It felt sick. I felt like, I can't even explain the feeling, but you know when you have a flu and you just like every part of your body aches, you feel dehydrated, you feel sore, overall you just feel like shit, okay? Eating anything up to this point, you know, in order to get to that physique, I was eating around 800 calories every day, and I was doing 2 hours of cardio 7 days a week. So that's how I got to that physique. So it wasn't just like, oh, like I'm chilling. It was literally like thriving on some new shit. What are you thriving on? Can we just ask? Like, that's so fake because I felt so horrible. I was not thriving. Like, there was not a thrive there. So I literally just like bullshitted that whole caption. And I'm sure like to other people, they saw that and they're like, wow, like she's doing great. Like, good for her. Like, no, I wasn't. I was literally starving myself that whole day and the months up to that in order to get that one picture, and I felt like ass. Oh no. So the next picture is actually really, really important to me because this is the day that all hell broke loose for me. And I think it was probably one of the worst days, like during my eating disorder days. This was the worst day. Like, this was the day of my cousin's wedding. Like a preface as to like where I was in my eating disorder at this point. I was eating around 800 to 700 calories every day. I was doing like an hour and a half of cardio. This week, I had to actually stop working out because I didn't have the energy to do so. I like could not like walk unless it was in school. Any other time, like I didn't have the energy to do it. The whole week leading up to this, I was freaking out. So nervous because I knew on Saturday, I'm not gonna have a dinner at home. I'm not gonna know my calories, and I'm not gonna be able to pull through a cardio session. I was a nervous wreck. I literally like could not sleep at night because I was so worried about Saturday. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna gain weight because I'm not gonna be able to count my calories that day. Like, how am I gonna be able to handle this? Saturday comes, and I got up really early, got ready, you know, took pictures or whatever. I had breakfast. I had, I think, a rice cake for lunch. And then time got around where like we had to start actually like getting ready for the actual reception. So I like had to like change my dress and everything and like touch up my makeup. Suddenly like it hit me like how much I wasn't eating that day, and my whole body was aching. and I remember I felt so sick and actually felt like I was gonna throw up. By the way, when I was going through my eating disorder, I wasn't eating a lot of food. My body did not know how to digest jack shit. I could not eat a lot of food. Like, I know people were like, oh, I can't eat that. Like, oh, my stomach. No. Like, it was to the point where, like, I physically would not be able to get it down, or else I'd have severe, severe stomach pains and just all of these issues. So my body did not know how to digest anything because I never gave it food. So that day, when especially I didn't give it any food at all, my body, you know, it was breaking down. Stomach pains were so bad when I was going to the reception, like walking there. On top of all of these like flu symptoms, I literally was just sitting there like I was going to pass out. I wasn't speaking to anyone. I was in so much pain. I was miserable. I finally get to the reception and, you know, the food's there, whatever, and I have like a steak and, you know, like some broccoli, and like that's it. I was like, nope, that's it. And that was just like the appetizers that like they give the first time. That wasn't like the dinner, it wasn't the entree. Like, girl, what are you doing? Time comes around where the entrees come, and I didn't order. I was the only person that didn't order dinner, and everyone was looking at me like I had like 12 heads. They were like, what? And I was like, I'm not hungry, and I was starving. I was starving, but I was like, I already reached 700 calories today. I can't do it. I can't break the calorie count. The whole time I just sat, I didn't dance, I didn't do anything. I didn't have fun because I didn't let myself have fun. Towards the end, I made a huge scene with my parents about wanting to go home that night instead of sleeping at the hotel. By the way, we weren't even gonna get out of the wedding until 12, so we would have been home by around 3 o'clock if we started driving there, because this was 3 hours from where we lived. So no logic. I was like, can we please go home? Like, I can't wake up in the morning and have breakfast here. I need to have breakfast at my house because I don't know the calories there. I'm in pain. Like, I was like freaking out, like on the verge of crying. And my parents were like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is going on? Like, you would never have a problem with this. You would have danced. You would have had a good time. You would have ate all of the food. You would have been glad to stay overnight and have a big ass breakfast. But now you want to go home and you're like, what is going on? My parents were really concerned, and they were kind of fed up with me at this point because I'm acting like myself. I was being miserable. I was acting like a bitch, basically. Like, that's all I can say. Finally just like was like, okay, whatever. So I kind of just like dealt with it. And I remember like for breakfast that next day, I didn't have breakfast there. I think I went through like a pack of gum, and that was my breakfast. That was like the worst day of my life. I remember I was not myself. I was such a miserable person. I was so angry and hungry and fed up and so controlled by this eating disorder that I was not Brooke. That wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me, and that was one of the breaking points of where I was like, okay, I have a problem. That picture to this day resonates with me. So skinny and sick and bony, and I didn't look like me. I didn't feel like me, and that was one of like the worst days that I've ever had during my eating disorder, because I turned into a person that I didn't recognize. The next picture is something that also resonates a lot with me, because this was around the time where I was struggling with depression very, very bad because of my eating disorder. That whole day, I did not eat a single thing. Remember, the jeans that I wore finally were like not super skin tight on me, which made me feel so satisfied, because that means that my legs finally shrank. And if you know something about me, I am dominant in my lower body. When I lose weight, I lose it in my arms, in my face, in my stomach. When I gain weight, I gain it in my legs. That is it. Like, I have a prominent lower body. There is no way that I could get these skinny, skinny legs unless I literally go down to a scary weight. And this was like close to a very scary weight for me. And my legs were still not skinny, because that's not my genetics, but they were a lot skinnier, and I was very happy about that. I was like really happy my legs are skinny, you know, whatever. And then I started nitpicking literally everything about me. I was so angry that my arms looked fat, and I had this fat between my boob and my arm. I thought that that indicated I was overweight. I still needed to lose weight to get rid of that. This whole thing, and I almost wasn't gonna post it because I thought I just looked so, I didn't look skinny enough. And I mean, the only thing I could like really justify that kind of mindset is I was sick. I was very sick in all these pictures. I was very sick. To Instagram, I looked, you know, like I was having a fun time. My caption was like, embracing the mane. First off, that was a lie, because guess what? I was no longer straightening my hair anymore because I was losing so much hair from not eating that if I straightened it, you could tell how much it was thinning out. So I left it like really curly so it could give it some volume to kind of like hide all the hair I lost, since I was losing like clumps of hair every time I would comb it or brush it or wash it. Like, I'm not even kidding, balls of hair would come out. And embracing the mane, yeah, like, okay, you're losing hair, so I don't understand how that's even logical. It shows that it's such a lie. Like, what people see on Instagram, don't know what is going on behind the camera. You don't know if this is a planned picture, if they're starving themselves to look like that, if they're absolutely miserable. And every single caption when I was going through all these dark, depressing times, it was so fake. I was like living it up, like thriving, like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun, like this is awesome. So sick in every single picture. I was depressed and miserable, and in all those pictures, like, I'm not kidding, in every single picture that I took during my eating disorder, that was a horrible day for me. The reason why I wanted to make this video and kind of just like expose myself, because I know probably a lot of you were thinking like, why the hell would you just rat yourself out and say everything that you lied about and basically like look really fake? The reason why I did this was because I know so many women out there will go on Instagram and they will see all of these pictures of these girls and they will compare themselves to it and say, why don't I look like that? They're having so much fun, their life is great. And let me tell you, sister, it's not. Because I'm sure a lot of people went on my page during all this time and they thought the same thing that you guys are thinking about other people. Since I recovered, I vowed that I would never take a picture and lie about how I was doing. I would never just force anything. I wanted to live my life and I wanted to be honest and truthful, to maybe just to make it more relatable to other people. They feel more comfortable with their body. Young girls and even guys aren't comparing their lives to me and thinking that I'm doing so much better and I don't go through struggles. I want you to realize that everyone goes through shit, and what you see on Instagram or what people portray doesn't mean that's their life. What you need to do is you need to focus on yourself. You focus on your progress, your recovery, how you're doing, and your mental health. If you compare yourself to everyone your whole life, you're gonna be comparing yourself to false realities. This is kind of a different video for you guys, but I really hope it opened your eyes up to what really goes on Instagram, and just no one's perfect, and just this kind of could inspire you to start being a little more honest on your page. And if you're going through shit, you can tell it. If you don't want to, keep it to yourself, but I kind of encourage you to like just put it out there and say, you know what, I'm going through this. And maybe someone out there can relate to you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I make new videos every single week. And until next time, bye.